So the who would win of the week this week is Mick Jagger versus Steven Tyler. Two, all-time frontmen in different bands. Kind of similar fellas in some ways. I bet you sometimes people that don't know would mistake them for each other.
Understandable.
Matthew, where do you want to start with this one?
Opening stat, both parties come in at 5'10". Same exact height. And that is something that's very important to me in these fights because it makes a difference.
Why do you know this?
My reach.
Yeah, I looked it up.
You gotta have the reach.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Both
I really
parties
thought
come in
Mick
at
Jagger
5'10".
was going to be shorter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Steven Tyler just looks like a noodle, or
they're both
Gumby.
He does look like Gumby. He's a Gumby ass motherfucker. They're both super skinny.
So
yes.
With that being said, now the floor is open for discussion.
Okay, I'm not gonna say Mick Jagger's ugly, but definitely people say Mick Jagger's ugly.
But you can't sit there and say Mick Jagger's ugly and Steven Tyler is like some Adonis.
No, but I don't think that I think that in the public eye at least, Mick Jagger's ugliness may enter levels of SpongeBob in the movie theater where hi, I'm ugly, but I hope you could still enjoy the movie, and then her face melts off. Do you know what I mean?
But
so I see that as a weapon.
Though, that both still, regardless of their appearance, have become sex icons of sorts.
Oh, easy. I'm just saying. I think there's this.
You're just saying you wouldn't have sex with them.
No.
Okay.
I mean. No.
they're very charismatic guys.
Again, I just have to see, is the green gas going to come out of his face like in SpongeBob or not? Because I think that's an advantage.
I don't even know what to say about it.
This has very
Steven Tyler also could definitely grab one of Mick Jagger's teeth with just the pointer and the thumb. Pop it out.
This has to be preferenced with one person here saying that they have a large amount of knowledge of music, history, facts, or something of that nature. So,
well, I mean, there's several.
Oh my God. I feel like you metaphorically just put on
a monocle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're talking musically, if you put them in a vocal battle, I don't think it's a competition. If we're talking about in their prime, not right here, right now, but in their prime, I think Steven Tyler would walk all over him. But then if we're talking fist fight, Mick Jagger would destroy him. He's just got the moves. And he can bob and weave.
That's something I didn't think about.
And a defensive defensive mindset. You got to think he can bob and weave really well compared to Steven Tyler. He's leaning into the punches.
Yeah, you know what? Mick Jagger's got the grit where Steven Tyler seems like the type of dude who doesn't like blue M&Ms in the cup at backstage. Where Mick Jagger seems like he don't mind getting a little dirt under his nails.
But
kicking
also,
a guy in the
Steven
balls.
I think
Tyler
Mick Jagger's
in his
picking out
prime.
those M&Ms. I think if
You
Mick
think
Jagger
so?
sees
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
M&M, somebody's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
We're also
okay,
thinking
all right.
Steven Tyler for sure in his prime was all up on drugs, and so he would probably end up.
And this is a
But
prime.
we're also talking about Mick Jagger, so him in his prime.
Is this
was
a
also
controlled
on a fair-
environment? Are we drug testing them? They can't use steroids?
They can do.
Oh, they can do
No,
anything.
they can't take special drugs for the fight, but they can be on the regular dose of drugs and we grab them and toss them in a ring.
Then neither of them are mentally there,
or then we can have them be sober.
The only way we can see them fight at that point is take drugs and drop it in between them and see who comes out.
And that's been done before as incentive to get the two parties to fight. So the fight is they're both sober, but the winner of the fight receives the drugs.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's a fair way to do it either, because I don't know either of them's drug history.
Yeah, again, I'm not big, on I don't know their personal life. I mean, I definitely don't know how tall they are, except you told me they're
it was
the same
a
size.
long time ago, and there was way less not that they had less eyes on them, but they had they didn't have social media or anything.
Well, listen, man, you got to understand, this was before cocaine was bad for you.
No, yeah, that's so true.
It just came out and was the best.
We'll talk about that later. I think that there would be a lot of movement in this fight.
Definitely light on their feet.
Yes, I think both of them would. I know Mick Jagger is more famous for his moves and such, and I do think that his agility would be more dynamic than Steven Tyler, but I think both of them would be able to do a pretty good job.
Oh, dude, this is so
floating
tough.
around.
The more I think about, kind of just caricaturing these guys,
Yeah.
Steven Tyler could probably catch a punch in his mouth.
See,
Now it's one arm versus two arms. At that point, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
imagine
there's
Mick
never been
Jagger,
a rule made
boom,
against biting in the Hoodwink
Oh,
movie.
yes,
Arm
yes,
chomp,
yes.
stuck. He's got one arm to defend himself. You got two. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
but
see, if we're not careful,
but if I'm
this
Mick Jagger,
fight
my
can
counterpoint
become-
to my hand ending up in Steven Tyler's mouth is to grab whatever you can, whether it be a tongue or a
Grab that
uvula.
fucking uvula.
Grab anything and just start yanking.
Oh yeah.
You just start yanking.
Just start using your fingers,
Milking
as
the
like a
cow.
punching bag, like a.
Yeah, like you're flicking. You're flicking.
Hey,
yeah.
you brought it there, dude.
You're flicking Steven Tyler's uvula as if you were punching a speed bag.
Okay. But see, I don't know if that's. See, you could flick that uvula. Oh, actually, then he's about to. Ugh.
Yeah, then he throws your arm back up out of your mouth.
Okay, touche. Touche.
You did get me on that one.
My hands are tied.
Sorry, boss.
Although I do think that physically, Mick Jagger does have the edge because I know from the drug use, Steven Tyler's foot is really fucked up.
Oh.
I think he could still make some motions, but he's got that Mr. Deeds foot.
Oh,
Like,
no.
for real. Like, he's got like a black foot.
Yo, Mr.
But
D.
he also has all those fucking scarves.
Yeah.
So what are you using them as like a weapon, like a whip?
Oh, absolutely. Whip,
Can
Yeah,
we
you
use
never
mic
see, like-
stands in this situation?
No,
No
There's-
mic stand.
there's-
because
But he's always wearing. No, it's different. It's different. The scarves are basically a part of
you're
him.
right.
At this point.
It's like Ghost Rider in the Chain.
You guys don't
Yes.
understand. I'm a pretty big anime guy, and I totally can see a fucking character who wears scarves and ribbons and can just fucking shoot them.
Yes,
by their
exactly.
arms and
Something like that.
manipulate them. Yeah,
But I think it's like you ever see Jackie Chan
But
get
that's what
attacked
I'm
with
saying.
a
But
Like,
knife?
counterpoint
he's
to
too
the
quick. I've never seen
counterpoint
it.
to the scarf argument, though.
Shit.
If you're gonna talk about Mick Jagger's ability to move, do you not think he could combat Steven Tyler's use of scarf based off of?
all I'm
sheer
saying is
movement?
if we're gonna give
now
Steven
you're
Tyler,
tying
Yeah.
that back in, very good point.
if we're gonna give Steven Tyler fucking scarf powers, then we gotta give Mick Jagger the SpongeBob Ugly Breath powers. It's only fair to level it out to get this
Well,
supernatural
but that's not fair.
Exactly.
element.
I don't think it's a supernatural element.
No.
though.
Oh, okay. You
That's
think-
not exactly what I'm.
No, it's
talking
using
about.
it. He's using it like
He
they're
tied- he
nunchucks
flips them.
almost.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
like as a
okay.
physical blunt object.
Okay, so
Right.
then Mick Jagger really won't brush his teeth for 6 weeks leading up to this fight. I
Okay,
mean,
see,
can we
now,
give him
now
that
we're-
at least?
But we don't know
And
if
some
he
garlic?
did that or not, so we can't use that in actual.
But we know for a fact Tyler's
that
going to be
Steven
bringing the
Tyler
scarf game.
has the
Right.
scarves and is quite familiar with them.
So I
and
think that
probably
those,
like
yeah.
like a grandma bag. You know?
I think
Yeah, I
that,
think you're right.
and I might be jumping the gun here.
Don't put the cart before the horse, brother.
No, I'm gonna.
But where's
no,
the cheese?
it's the horse is in the cart right now.
Oh,
when
no.
that shit's on my back,
Yeah.
and I'm going Oregon Trail style. I'm gonna get
Oh,
there anyway
no.
I have to.
You just got syphilis.
Yeah. Whether I get syphilis or not, I'm going. I think that based off of, and I didn't even think about this going into the fight, but based off of ability to move alone, I like Mick Jagger in this fight.
I think I'm leaning more and more towards Mick Jagger.
I think that the scarves can.
I think the
counteract
scarves
that. I think the
matter
scarf-
so much.
But
The scarves
okay,
do
so
matter.
let's put it like this. All right, and I'll ask you guys this because I don't know. If you
Okay.
say that
I
the
got it.
scarves and the movement cancel out,
They don't.
you think that the scarves are more powerful than the movement?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is you move around a lot, and I'll come at you with a scarf, and you'll be tied to that chair in seconds. And then what do you have?
See, just
But
because
what do you
he-
have?
but
But
just
Matt
because-
doesn't have the moves like Jagger. If he had
just
the moves like
because-
Jagger, he wouldn't
and
be.
just
sitting-
because-
Well, then bring Mick Jagger in here,
Just
and I'm no
because
Steven
you
Tyler, but give
wear-
me a scarf.
No,
Somebody
no.
get Mick.
Just because you wear a scarf a lot doesn't mean that you necessarily
can
have
use
the-
it as a nunchuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on this
Okay.
page now.
Listen,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it couldn't come
See,
to
now
his
that's
use.
bullshit.
I'm not saying that it couldn't come to his use
At
in defense.
best, it's a
how I would
strangle item.
how I would use the scarf, and this is the only way I can imagine him being able to use the scarf to his advantage is a scarf toss to blind Mick Jagger, quick strike.
He's a dirty man.
Like
Yeah.
sand in the eyes.
Yes, like sand in the
Right.
eyes. But, and this is why I say they cancel out, because if we're going to give Mick Jagger the status that he has and his ability to move and dance around and be light on his toes, I think that scarf, although it may put him in a position he didn't want to be in, I think he can still avoid that fatal blow.
There's only one person who cannot be affected by sand in the eye in any situation, and that's Chuck Norris, and he's not involved.
Yeah,
No.
we don't like to put Chuck Norris.
All
in
I gotta
fights.
say, is the only way I see this, see
doesn't
Steven
fight, he
Tyler
wins.
using the scarf is like, if it were now. Before I say this, is this a fight to the death, or is there a ref,
You
and
could
are we
tap
gonna
out.
call it?
No, it would never end by decision.
It would
Yeah.
never. It would be
No.
it would be an opponent tapping out or death.
Yeah.
Or knockout, something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Well,
I'm
no,
saying if
death.
this is to the death, then the only thing I see
Those guys
him
are both
using
so
the towel
brittle.
is maybe in a struggle on the ground, like one of them dirty, gritty, fucking.
Yeah, there's no. This
he
is
pulls
prison-
out
this
the
is-
scarf and
Yeah.
gets behind him, but other than that, I
minus
don't think,
Shanks. This is pretty much a prison fight. Like there's
Okay,
yeah,
so
this
nobody.
prison
is-
fight, and there's
facts.
no moves, and there's no scarves. If we're putting it down bare knuckle, Steven Tyler's
Again, if you're gonna throw
I
a
don't
scarf,
know.
ready?
Okay, listen. First of all, when it comes to the scarves, I think you guys are dead wrong. I think everything you've said is incorrect. The two of you.
Unbelievable.
I'm not done talking.
Hey, give the man his floor. Give the
I
man
got
his
one more
floor.
thing to say.
We don't agree with him, but give him his time.
That's right.
That's right. Shut up.
Here's the
However,
However.
I do think that Mick Jagger would be able to outlast the scarves physically because that guy still does shows for hours and he moves the whole time. He does not stop moving. I think that the stamina that Mick Jagger
you
has.
know what they say about moves.
Yeah, but we're talking.
moves.
But I thought we agreed earlier in their prime.
moves like Jagger.
You yelled at me.
Still.
You just yelled at me, by the way, Andrew, and then made my point for me.
That's why I wanted you to shut up because I had some more things to say.
Yeah.
My decision.
You gotta give. Hey, this is fucking an even table. It's
No, it's
evenly
not.
divided.
It is not.
My decision there. I'm not just coming into the who would win of the week just bash. There are nuances to my decisions when we do
I
this
saw
segment.
the thinking face.
That's right.
I know.
That's why I make it as a signal so that people
So
know.
This is tough.
there's two things we're gonna do here.
All right.
I'm gonna give us two options.
I don't.
We're gonna sit here and we're gonna debate this all night,
Let's get a weight. Let's get a weigh in.
we're gonna make our picks.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to lock it in.
I want to go last this time.
Okay, so we'll start with Chris.
All right. Am I just saying who?
I mean, you can give a small
give
amount
like
of
a
reasoning,
very
but
brief-
there's no rebuttal
Yes.
on this reasoning
Okay.
when
Yeah,
you're
that's-
making your
yeah.
vote.
I think I will just say this before I say the answer. I think it's close. If we simulated it on the Warrior Show or whatever 100 times, like it's definitely like 55 to 45 or whatever. So, but I'm gonna have to go with the Jagster, and just because I see lots of use for the poor dental hygiene, spitting teeth, bad breath, slick moves, and also something so ugly. Again, I don't think this is what I hear, guys. This is what I hear on the internet. Lots of ugly Mick Jagger jokes. Sometimes something is so peculiar looking that you just kind of get distracted by it. That's an edge that Steven Tyler's losing because again, and there's my answer. I go with the Mick Jags. I'm sorry,
Andrew.
everybody. It
Oh, that was your closing statement, so you said what you said.
was a little too long.
I did. See, I don't agree with your reasoning necessarily, but I am going to choose Mick Jagger as well because of the stamina thing. I think that this is really locked. I'm saying that I think this is very, very close, and I honestly think it's going to take for the other one to drop to decide who the winner is. And I think that Steven Tyler with his fucking club foot is just not going to be able to move around for as long as Mick Jagger's got it going on with scarves, whatever.
So, my biggest thing coming into this fight too was the movement, and then Chris's points just kind of let me piggyback on those two, because I think I've kind of been, I didn't know at all who I was going to take until this conversation, and one of the first things that got said was his ability to move, and I was like, oh yeah, like he can move.
Yeah.
And then I was instantly Mick Jagger. Nobody was going to convince me otherwise for the rest of the way. That's why I was very anti-scarf argument, because I didn't even want that to be a factor. So I'm also going to lock in Mick Jagger. We're at 3-0 right now. You were the odd man out on the pants situation.
So I'm going to, just for my closing statement, I'm going to throw this out there. We didn't talk about it at all in the debate. But if you look at, as a guy with really long hair and Steven Tyler having long hair, one of my fears in a fight is that somebody who may not have as much hair as me could come and fight and grab my hair, and then I'm like useless because that shit hurts. Mm-hmm. So I think Mick Jagger would have to win. Like no scarves, no weapons, like nothing, just like what they have on their bare naked body.
That might be the best point that wasn't brought up.
And like Mick Jagger would walk up to that mane of hair, rip it down, and beat the living shit out of him.
So, for what I thought was going to be such a close fight to have a 4-0 sweep.
Yeah,
it's still very close.
It was very much, though. I was very much back and forth until about the back end of that debate.
But the best part of the society that we live in today is our opinions don't matter, because only the opinions of the people on the internet matter. So,
zing.
With that being
boom,
said,
bop.
Make sure you vote on this on our Instagram.
Vote.
2 in the Cooler. It will be out on Friday. And then to follow it up, if you want to have even more fun, Friday, 4 p.m. on Clubhouse, Andrew Canada, live debating the Who Would Win of the Week. So check that out. Stop by. Live on the show, we're 4-0. Mick Jagger's winning the fight.